Hello, guys! Welcome to another episode of An Alternative of Humanity. In this episode, we're going to do more stuff, of course, and I also added more AIs. Actually, I just added the same of this. I just added many of the same AI, which are ChatGPT, of course, and I talked with a bunch of them. And now Grok is not Poland Belarus because I can't talk to him anymore. I don't do it anymore. I don't know why. But anyways, Poland Belarus is now ChatGPT, 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 and ChatGPT. Also, I'm wanting to make Korea bigger. Actually, what did I say? Why did I say bigger? Bigger. Anyways, let's make more stuff, of course. Hainan. I think you guys remember about Hainan and its massive empire. Hainan and Taiwan's relations are horrible right now. They hate each other absolutely, and if anything happened, there would be a war. I talked about a war, huh? Well, there will be a war in between the two, daughter and father. And Hainan is going to start the invasion, like always. Thank you, Hainan. They're going to invade down south, and they're going to take off the supplies. They're going to disconnect the supply lines of these areas, which come from the capital, which is Taiwan. Which is in Taiwan. So they're going to attack more and more. And then Taiwan is going to be forced to surrender, but not now because they're still trying to do something useful for once. And now the last port is invaded and annexed. And Taiwan officially has nothing else to do except just give away these territories. Well, Hainan will obviously annex all of it, and Taiwan will say that they will have to give away these territories that are a puppet of Taiwan to Hainan. And now Taiwan is just Taiwan. Now, fascism is going to start rising because, like, economic problems and stuff. Everyone has economic problems. And now, Mistral's Romancian Empire is fascist. They're fascist. Pi is starting to have fascist movements, and this area is starting to have fascist movements too. Gdansk is going to officially collapse because of the economic struggles, and Poland Belarus will gain all of this. And you'll also see someone else come back, which is this nation over here, which is going to take all of this. Oops. I think I did something wrong over here. I think I added a province, but the province is in the same layer. Yeah, that's all in the same layer. That's ironic. Actually, that's horrible. I hate that. I'm going to have to add provinces again. Okay. Let's start adding with this province over here, this province over here, and this province over here. So now, that old Teutonic order is back, but now it's Denmark, and they're going to want to expand, of course. They're going to capture these territories down here too, and they're going to go over here and take it all. They're going to capture it all, of course. Now, Poland Belarus is going to get this city over, oops, we're going to get this city over here, and, well, someone is back, but smaller and weaker. Kaliningrad is back. They will ask for these territories over here. Poland, Belarus will say, fine, I guess, because they don't want war anymore. So, Kaliningrad is going to get these territories approximately. Now, Poland and Belarus is pretty strong. Shrunk, yes, with a K. And the Scandinavian Union will invade these nations around here to form a union, but they're going to not be able to get Copenhagen. Now, Gdansk is just Gdansk, and a few territories in Poland, of course. And now, I think I'm going to call this the Republic of Vistula, which is pretty late now. It's too late. They're going to collapse too, and these territories will be given to Poland, Belarus. These territories will be given to ChatGPT, and these territories will be given to Pi. Then, the Mediterranean Empire tried to unify with the Anatolian Empire, but they were left unread. So, there's no answers. Sorry. Actually, it's pretty sad. I wanted a union, but no, it's too bad. But now, continuing. Korea and this nation, actually, Korea and Manchuria are going to ally, or actually, I think they're allies, aren't they? No, they're not. They're going to ally, trying to unify. Wait. In this alliance map, there's something wrong, isn't it? No, there's not. Well, let's just take away that. Wait a sec. What was that nation? I forgot completely what nation was that. But anyways, it's dead. And coming back to the political map. Oh yeah, there's the Malthus map that I forgot to talk to you about. Then the two nations around here will unify. They will unify into this large Korean nation. And now, I think this is supposed to be a puppet. No, it's not a puppet. It's independent. Anyways, India will try to unify. These nations are going to join the Indian Union because of prosperity and that stuff. So all of this is going to become Indian. But there's also another nation which is the Indus Valley that is going to unify with all of these nations. And now, the situation is pretty intense in between the two nations. You'll remember that that's going to be for later. Now, here in Brazil, the chaos still exists, and this nation is going to overthrow the king of this nation and is going to be able to take it. And now, it's getting pretty interesting in between all of these nations. Now, these nations over here that used to be from Cornwall decide to make a union, and they create a union over here that I don't know what I should call it. So I won't call it anything. It's going to be the union. They're going to make this union over here, and everyone's already going to hate it. As you can notice, Brazil is going to invade this nation because, they're fascist now. And over here, there's going to be a union in between these, between this nation, and take down the tolerancy, this nation. Now this is the Amazonian Union, and Colombia is now going to start to collapse because they're weak, they're horrible, yeah, that stuff. So Amazonian separatists will appear in these regions, of course, supported by the Amazonian Union, and they're going to get like this of territory. They're going to get all of this and declare independence. Then they're going to get all of this too. And as a pretty big turn of events, this nation is going to give these territories to Amazonia and these territories to this nation over here. Now, let's see the nations that are officially fascist. Wait, I need to add fascist map. Well, number 1, it's Mongolia. Mongolia is officially a fascist nation. Wait, let me just take this to... Wait. Let me just take this to over the capitals. And the nations that are fascist are Mongolia, this red nation, because they have nothing else to do, useless, Sri Lanka, or India, the Saharan Empire, and Egypt, the Romantian Empire, Galicia, Cornwall, Wales, technically. Then there's also Florida, this nation, the USA, technically, Mexico, Brazil, and I think that's it. Well, that's it. These are the fascist nations in the world. And no, I think there's one more, which is this nation over here. I just don't have any main cities for it, which is going to be pretty irritating because I forgot to add main cities. There's supposed to be like only a few around here and one here. Wait a sec. Voice crack. Wait a sec. Taiwan? Wait, Taiwan still has... Excuse me. Oh, that's interesting. Anyways, let's ignore that. That's so interesting. Well, this is now the capital. I meant to stay here. Nope. I meant to stay here. Yeah. This is now the capital of this nation over here. And they're all going to make an alliance. I forgot which. Okay, it's O. It's going to be the fascist organization, starting with this, which used to be a colony of China. There's going to be America. There's also going to be, There's also going to be, wait a sec. There's also going to be Florida and, Brazil, and is there someone else over here? No. And Egypt, and, Sri Lanka, and Mongolia. Yeah, they're going to leave the alliance because, like, they're fascist, that stuff. And now I can show you the mafia's map. It's not so good over here, around here, but the Mediterranean mafia is around the Mediterranean. There's the Romancian mafia, the Scottish mafia, the Chinese mafia, the Hainanese mafia, the Korean mafia, the Antarctican mafia, the Portuguese mafia, for obvious reasons, the the Polish mafia, and all of that stuff. And there's also the religious map over here, which has this religion over here and that stuff. Now, the nations that have the nations that have the fascist thing, they're going to officially create new religions if they don't have them. Wait, what the? Whoa, that's a lot. They're going to create their own religions. Yeah, take that, suckers. Anyways, they're going to have their own religions because they think, like, we're the best, you morons. Oops. And there's also this mafia. No, not the mafia. Why am I talking about mafia? This religion. Sorry. This religion. The Florida religion. And they're going to kind of interfere with other nations to make them stop having these religions. Also, they're probably not fully Scottish, or they're not fully what's the name? Floridan religion or Mexican religion. They're kind of like this. But they're going to, like, do horrible stuff. Yeah, ethnic cleansing. I think that's that. And the religions are going to start having stuff over here. Yeah, that's pretty sad. Then there's also the Sahara, which is going to try to invade the Ethiopian nation, which is going to backfire completely because they're going to, in the end, take all of this. Technically, basically, what happened in the war was simple. They declared war, they started winning, they almost reached the capital, then the king died, the nation is still fascist, they started losing, and yeah, that's the thing. Then, there's also the thing that Brazil is going to start to invade this nation. They're going to cut the nation in half. The underpopulated south collapses, and the north is invaded piece by piece, death by death. No, not death. Yeah, death by death. And the northeast is going to just give away these territories. Cowards. So Brazil is is now satisfied with this whole thing. And now here for what was the nation? The Galicians, isn't there like a bit of other? No, that's normal. Yeah, it's normal. Then, Cornwall. They don't they have other religions in their territory? Yeah, they do. Yeah, they're not going to let that anymore. Say goodbye to your favorite religion, because you're now dead if you don't follow it. Wait. No, that was too much. I expanded too much, but it was basically because of influence. In wait, there's also another territory that they're going to influence. Where aren't they supposed to have a colony? They're supposed to have a colony around here. Strange. Very strange, actually. Well, the ethnic cleansing is starting to be worse, with day by day at least 100 people are executed, and how this region is underpopulated. Like, if 3 people converted, this would convert the whole region. Oops. So now people are like, what the hell? That's horrible. You're being horrible. So Egypt is going to fund rebels in my nation. And there's going to be Libya. Libya is going to be back. Libya over here, but they only exist if they like be fascist. They're going to be fascists, of course. They're not going to just be independent and die again. They don't want that. This region is not going to be independent. It's going to be mine still. And well. Northern Africa is back. Northern Africa, yeah, exactly. Northern Africa's rebellions over here, and over here, and over here. Yeah, I'm not liking this. So I'm going to officially declare war on Egypt, which is going to cause a war in between all of this. This is not a world war, I think, because it's not that global, and they're not fully in the war. So these rebels are going to be destroyed, and in the end, they're just going to let Libya live. I'm just going to let Libya live. I'm getting weak because of the 2 world wars that happened. It looked like there weren't any world wars. That's strange, but they were a pain in my butt. Anyways, Brazil is going to invade the rest of this nation. Pretty historic. And they're going to invade the southern nation. Now, Uruguay, they're invaded by Brazil for obvious reasons. And wait, am I stalling? What the hell? Oops. Wait. Yeah, that's good. Well, anyways, Brazil is going to invade this nation, and the first thing that they will do is, of course, ethnic cleansing and massacres. The massacre of this city. I think this is the capital of Uruguay today. I forgot the name in English. Well, anyways, there's a massacre over here, here, and here. Now, the people are pretty pissed because this is now hurting economically. They're hurting economically this nation because they have to get spies and stuff too, and also policemen. Not policemen. soldiers and stuff. That hurts economically, and the people don't really accept that much about this war in general. But they'll have to accept it, sadly. Well, with World War III possibly being imminent, this is going to be a bit interesting. Well, this nation over here is forced to surrender, receives an ultimatum, and how they did not accept the ultimatum, they're invaded. And how they have almost zero population, they lose like 50 cities every day. Not 50. 25 cities every day. So every day they lose like at least half a province every day. And because of that, the nation is going to collapse, actually surrender, and Mongolia, oh holy scheisse, they're going to also incorporate these two areas into their own territory. Now, Novgorod is pretty pissed. Obvious reasons. These two had the same ethnicity. But they can't do anything except if they call their allies, if they call their allies now, if they call me and stuff, that's going to cause a whole war. I don't want that. Well, I want war, but I can't have any wars. That's the thing. Now, that one alliance, which is this alliance, is going to call in this nation, this nation, this nation, and they're going to call Anatolia and this nation over here, Crimea. But after some time, government changes and stuff, yeah. Also, there's that economic alliance, there's that secret alliance with all of these colonies, and I actually canceled the alliance with these three because, like, they're fascist nations. I'm not fascist, and I don't want problems for me. Well, taking down the secret alliance map, we're now going to notice a new war, which is in between the Alps and Croatia. This is the result of the war, of course, annexation, and no, I think they puppeted the nation. I think they puppeted this province of Croatia. Yeah, they did. Anyways, now there's this puppet and the Rhine Republic. A puppet is going to be added, incorporated, created, and this is it. This is the puppet. The rest go to Germania, and there's also a few other territories that that stuff, normal stuff. These territories are still military occupied. Yeah, that's basically it. Now, I forgot about this territory, which is going to be annexed here. Well, that was like 2 months or 2 years. Yeah, of independence. Well, the Antarctican nations decided to make a pact. They're going to unite, not a pact, they're going to unite under one nation. And the African nation over here declares independence. declares independence from the Antarctic nation. Now the Penguin Empire has sadly no colonies, which is pretty good. I wanted no colonies for this nation, of course. And now these nations over here, they're going to unify against northern Japan. Now there's northern and central Japan, which are now hating each other. That's pretty bad, I guess. Now, these two Indonesian islands, I think it's Borneo and Java, or this is Java, and this is Sumatra. No, this is Sumatra and this is Java. No, this is Java and this is... Yeah. Anyways, they're going to unite for economic stability and unity, that stuff. And I think that's going to be it for Asia. And for Africa, we have a new nation that is fascist. Good job, you morons. You did it. And it is Ethiopia for a lot of stuff, a lot of reasons. Tanzania because they want to reclaim all of these territories. This great nation that wants to create a large empire. And there's also... Wait, there was another nation that I wanted to add. Angola. Yeah, Angola, this nation over here. They're going to be a fascist nation too. Now, the world is starting to get split again. It's like 20 years since World War II. It's been 20 years. And you guys are not even focusing on industrialization. They are focusing on war. Well, most are focusing on war. These fascist nations are going to join the fascist alliance, of course. And there's going to be, a new ally here, which is this nation and Vietnam and Hainan. Wait. Oh, holy crap. And Hainan. That's going to be hard. Well, these two nations are in the same alliance. Just think about that. Well, Taiwan is scared and they're going to join the Democratic Alliance. Or just Alliance of the Democrats, just like Korea and Hokkaido. No. This is Hokkaido. And this is Sakhalin. I'm talking about that northern city over here. Ignore everything that I just said. Oh crap. Cornwall is going to join. These three nations are now going to join. And these three nations are one. So that does not matter. That's all just one nation. I still do not know where would the alliance, where would the union's capital be. I think it would be in Norway or Sweden, but that's just an idea. Well, is this supposed to be a secret alliance? This is going to collapse, and they're going to join this almighty alliance. Poland, Belarus is also going to join for fear, and two shots are fired in. Two shots are fired in this region. That means war, if you guys are pretty noobs at the situation. So I declare an official war against Egypt, and I immediately start losing a piece. But that's for something else. The alliance did not join completely. It's still just an alliance between me and Egypt. It has passed 20 years, guys. I know it was like one war behind the other. So now that there's kind of like a UN, they're going to be sanctioned. They're going to be forced to leave the. They're going to be forced to leave this alliance. And after that, the Egyptians have to give away territories to Anatolia. Yes, there's these coastal territories here too. Anatolia to the Mediterranean Empire, which means this. Which means this. Holy goodness. Which means this. And the rest will be a universal puppet, or they're going to be New Egypt. That's the name of the nation, New Egypt. Just like New Italy. But now it's New Egypt. Oh yeah, and New Italy has officially taken away the UN from their from here. And I'm going to also add the communist nations. Yeah, because now there's a rise of communism here in Siberia, a rise of communism here in this nation, and Central Japan is supposed to be socialist, and they are. Then there's also, I'm going to add 3 more socialist nations before I add the Nazi nations. This nation over here gets the communist symbol. Then the Mapuche Nation is officially communist, and this nation is also communist. Then let's add the Nazi nations, which are going to be in this color, because they're the fascists and the communists, the fascists, the Nazis, and there's also going to be there's another ideology, maybe monarchism. I shouldn't add monarchists, right? Nah, let's keep it like this. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. About all of this. And goodbye.